welterweight champion Gary Jacobs and Jim Neely.
Exactly 3 years ago, Paul Silky Jones decided to retire from boxing, having been stopped in 2 rounds. He was persuaded to come back to the sport at the start of this year, and after 5 successive fights, one of which brought him the WBO Intercontinental Championship of the World, he's now having a crack at a prize that only one other British boxer has ever won before, the light middleweight championship of the world, and that was the great Maurice Hope. So what hope is there for Paul Silky Jones tonight? 12 3-minute rounds at 11 stones, 154 pounds. What is expected of this man, Paul Silky Jones, here in his hometown of Sheffield, and can he emulate another young man who's at ringside, Prince Nassim Hamed?
Round 1.
All in black, the shorter of the two from Troy in New York, the 25-year-old, he'll be 26 later this week, Verno Phillips, WBO champion, still champion by default perhaps. He lost his title in May to the veteran Italian Gianfranco Rossi, who later tested positive for drugs. And Rossi still under suspension, fighting that suspension, but the WBO reinstated Phillips rather than declare the title vacant. But nonetheless, Paul Silky Jones, the WBO Intercontinental Champion, is the challenger, and almost walked onto a pretty useful-looking right hand from Verno Phillips, who has stopped 13 opponents, 7 of them very tough Argentinians. So 12 3-minute rounds in this World Championship contest, sponsored by Acclaim Entertainments in the Hillsborough Centre in Sheffield. And it's a confident start by Paul Silky Jones. And although he's up against a man who's fought in a much higher league, if he can get past Gary Jacobs the first 2 or 3 rounds, well, who knows what may happen.
Yeah, I think he's got a great chance here. He's in his home city. It's for the world title. He's definitely up for it. He's definitely trained for it. Maybe having that couple of years out has helped him, because he isn't that old either. He's only 29 years old. He's come back and he's had 5 good wins. So he's got a really, really good chance.
Well, Silky Jones, like so many fighters in this part of the world, switching round and down on the seat of his pants in the first round. And that's what he had to watch. And anxious looks from Freddie King as Silky Jones took a solid-looking right hand from the deceptively fast Verno Phillips. And remember, this is a man who spent a couple of years boxing in Argentina, won every single contest, and stopped some very, very hard men indeed. So Jones, now having started confidently, is now looking very wary, and well he might. Switch hitting again from southpaw to orthodox and back. Fiso Fernandez from Puerto Rico, the referee, the man who did the controversial Paul Weir title fight in Glasgow at the weekend. 2 judges from Puerto Rico, and Britain's Roy Francis at ringside. And Verno Phillips certainly encouraged by that early knockdown.
Yeah, Silky Jones walked onto a good right hand there. I don't think it was at a time, it was just a good right hand. He went one way. Verno Phillips threw the right hand in the line. It was a flash knockdown.
Well, what that will do for his confidence, we'll just have to wait and see. Jones now looking very wary. Phillips shorter, and Jones will have to use that extra reach, and that's better boxing from the British challenger. Last time a Briton fought for the light middleweight world title was Chris Pyatt, almost 5 years ago to the day, lost to John David Jackson. So an interesting start, and I don't think Paul Silky Jones had anticipated finding himself in the seat of his pants as early as this in the scheduled 12-rounder. Freddie King straight over to him and looking anxiously at him. Paul Silky Jones, 29 just last Sunday. This is his 34th professional contest. He's won 24 of them and lost 8. And he's had 7 wins outside the distance and has been stopped twice, and in fact was disqualified in one particular contest. And that was in Canada against Donovan Boucher. And there's the formidable Verno Phillips from Troy in New York, 26 in a few days' time. This is 32nd professional contest. 13 of his 25 wins coming inside the distance, and 7 of them in Argentina. And what took him down there, well, dear alone knows, but he did it well. So what a surprise start. Jones looking extremely confident, poking out the southpaw right hand and walking on to a great right hand from the champion. Verno Phillips won his WBO light middleweight title in October of 1993. stopping the very experienced Lupe Aquino of Mexico, having been down himself in the first round. Defended it 3 times before Rossi. And although he actually lost that, Rossi was stripped of the title for failing a drugs test. So this, in effect, is the 5th defense that Verno Phillips has made of this 154-pound division title. Silky Jones has not been in with anybody resembling this class of boxer. Apart from that momentary lapse, and one hopes for his sake he doesn't repeat it, Gary Jacobs. He hasn't looked too bad at all.
No, he seems to have composed himself. He's come back well. He's now standing on his ground. He's in the middle of the ring. He's forcing Phillips back. As you say, Phillips has been within a higher class of opponent. He fought the guy, the light middleweight champion, the WBA, the guy that Pernell Whittaker just beat to win his 4th world title. This guy has been about, and he's been in with the toughest of all. Silky Jones has got it all to do tonight. But as I say, this is his chance. It's a world title win. It's in his own hometown.
One thing that Jones must be wary of, and a lot of Sheffield fighters seem to hold their hands down very low, and eventually somebody catches up with them. Somebody steps inside those long reaches and gets to them, and that's what happened to Jones in the first round. Jones stopped by Paul Wesley 3 years ago in 2 rounds in Doncaster, and decided that was enough of boxing, but was persuaded to come back, and is probably very glad he did. Jones back to southpaw again. These are Fernandez from Puerto Rico, straight in, the referee. He'll be doing the Steve Collins, Cornelius Carr, WBO super middleweight title fight in Ireland this coming weekend.
Jones is standing his ground. He's throwing out his left hand lead. He's jabbing with his right hand. He's doing well. He's taking control of the centre ring. He's turning Phillips. He's moving well. Some good stuff from Jones here. Just has to make sure he doesn't get caught again.
Good attack from Jones. Well, now that's a little bit silly of him. He stuck his tongue out at the champion, and Verno Phillips has been around too many corners and around too many rings to get flustered by that. Phillips' lack of reach telling. He's only 5 foot 8 inches tall, as opposed to Silky Jones' 6 feet and half an inch. And interestingly, Phillips had to weigh in twice before he got right down to the 11-stone limit. So I wonder how much he may be suffering from dehydration, which is always a great concern in boxing. Good finish to the second by Paul Silky Jones. And after an anxious start for the fans here in Sheffield, they're now getting behind their man. Paul Weir, who lost his WBO light flyweight title at the weekend under somewhat controversial circumstances. And, well, the pride of Sheffield at the moment, the reigning WBO featherweight champion of the world. And who knows what this young fella is capable of. That's Prince Nassim Hamed. He must be slightly frustrated.
Round 6.
That's what they're fighting for. The WBO light middleweight championship of the world. Coming up to the halfway point in this scheduled 12-rounder. And the challenger with the flamboyant trunks with the fringes, going back to orthodox, and is outreaching the champion Verno Phillips. Well, Jones looks very purposeful. Good footwork from the challenger. And I think one full-time southpaw beside me at ringside, I think, can appreciate what Paul Jones is trying to do.
Oh yeah, I think he's got some great tactics. He's switching, and I think he's having more success being the southpaw. He should maybe get his left hand up a bit, his right hand up a bit more, start throwing the jabs, because Verno Phillips is getting a wee bit frustrated. When he goes southpaw, he can turn him around, and Phillips is missing with his own. As you see, his left uppercuts, his left hands, and his right hands, and he's having more success being a southpaw rather than going orthodox.
Interesting change. It's Paul Jones who's occupying the center of the ring and allowing Phillips to move around him. And when Phillips moves, it's Jones cutting him off. So are we seeing a change in the pattern of this world title contest? But all of the jabs of Jones would appear to be getting through. Switch from Phillips, coming in with that left hand to the body. And Jones smiles and thinks, well, I can take this.
Jones is very composed, he's doing well. Phillips is rushing him because he doesn't really know how to cope with the southpaw here. Trying to throw the big winging left hands and straight right hands. None of them are landing. Jones is keeping them on the end of that jab, frustrating him, which is a great help to him. Jones certainly boxing behind a lot of confidence here.
And again, very good footwork. 5 contests this year for Paul Jones, 5 wins. Last time out in October, when he stopped Eric Spalding of South Africa to retain his WBO Intercontinental title, the one that permits him to challenge for the senior version. Well, this is turning out to be a very, very absorbing contest. 2 totally contrasting styles, and one does get the impression that the somewhat unorthodox style of Paul Silky Jones may be just nudging him slightly ahead.
Oh yeah, I think it's great tactics, it's a great style, he's very good at it, he's composed, he's boxing very confidently at the moment, and if he can keep this up for 12 rounds, I think he's got a great chance of beating Phillips. Phillips is getting agitated, he's getting nervous, he's doing a lot of rushing, and he's not having any success himself. Phillips at the moment is having a tremendous amount of success.
So Phillips there being spoken to by his corner, and there's that little change of tactic, and he came really barnstorming through, and Jones did well to put it into reverse gear and get himself out of the way, and had to take one to the body, but nothing to worry about.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 7.
Past the halfway mark, and Paul Jones, down in the first round, is still there. And if anything, it's Jones who looks more like the champion. He's been more authoritative.
Well, I think that's what happens. I mean, if you want a title and you want to be champion as a challenger, you have to go out and take the title off the champion, and that's what he's doing. He's going out, forcing the fight. He wants it badly. Phillips is a champion, keeps on rushing, but Jones has got great tactics here.
Again, a little grimace across the face of Verno Phillips, and I think there was another slight rub of heads. Phillips taking most of those jabs from Jones on the gloves. Not that last one.
No.
There was a low blow from Phillips with the right hand, and Jones just ignored it. I don't know that Jones really wants to get drawn into a bit of toe-to-toe stuff.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't need to get drawn into a fight. And even when he does there, Phillips threw 3-4 punches and he came back with 3 or 4 of his own. If he wants to stand and trade, he can do that, but he's having more success on the outside, taking control, switch hitting. He's having tremendous success with that.
And he switches once again from southpaw to orthodox. Timeout, I think, for a low shot. And again, I think rather like the clash of heads, if anything was even more accidental. Piso Fernandez from Puerto Rico will give Verno Phillips as much time as he needs to try to recover. And Phillips, good professional that he is, says, yeah, I'm fine. But the wind, well and truly taken out of the sails. Phillips, I think, looking to give Jones a bit of his own medicine back, because that was not low, but certainly was right on the waistband.
All's fair in love and war, Jim.
There's a love lost in there, Gary, I have a feeling. And it's turning out to be something of a war. And that's not, I'm sure, what Jones wants to get drawn into, although he stood up pretty well. Phillips going for the body. 2 seconds to go to the end of this round. A combination of distinct reach advantage and a very difficult style has made life very difficult indeed for the champion from New York, Verno Phillips. And again, he's complaining to the referee that he didn't like that low blow at all. Struggled to make the weight, and he's going to be struggling in the corner now to recover from that. Freddie King, I'm sure, is very happy with the efforts that his charge has put in tonight. As Phillips coming forward, and Jones bending at the waist, and that was a little short left hand that went in. Ooh, my goodness, that was sore. And again, Jones trying to stay out of trouble. Oh, that really was well below
Corners,
waist
10
level.
seconds. Seconds out. Round 8.
5 rounds remaining. And given the record of Verno Phillips, a lot of people would have said that Paul Jones, who stepped up considerably in class, might not have got to this stage in the contest. Jones is in absolutely sparkling condition. He came in just a few ounces underneath the 11-stone limit. Phillips now back occupying the center of the ring. It's been a very good fight in terms of the referee not having to say very much to them. He's not really had to use his authority. It's been clean and tidy.
I think this is coming to the stage in the fight where both boys are getting really tired. They're going to have to look for a second win. As I say, this is a tough stage in the fight for Paul Silky Jones. If he can keep it up what he's been doing in the last 8 rounds, he's got a fair chance. Phillips will start, if he starts slowing down, Verno and Phillips will start getting into the fight, because then he'll be able to start getting off and drawing them into a fight.
Jones indicating that Phillips might have put in yet another low blow. Rumble around the ringside here at Sheffield. Freddie King on his feet saying come forward. Again, Phillips, the right hand dangerously low. Half a minute to the end of this round. Solid looking left, making contact from Verno Phillips.
He's having good success, Phillips, when Jones turns around to that orthodox there with his left hook. That's why I think he's better off just staying southpaw, keeping him in his back foot. It's an exciting fight.
Well, that's what he's doing at the end of this round. And it's that right hand that's been frustrating Verno Phillips. And a good finish to the round by Paul Jones. And should he keep up this sort of pace, Gary Jacobs, this could be, well, come to no surprise to Paul Jones, who's oozing with confidence, but certainly in world boxing terms, this could be something of an upset.
Yeah, it's a very, very hard fight to score. He's doing well, he's got great tactics, he's staying out of range, he's boxing on the back foot, he's moving round, and then when he takes control, he's taking control of the centre of the ring, keeping Phillips on the back foot, and Phillips is very frustrated with Silky Jones in the southpaw stance. He's rushing in, he's missing himself, he's missing with right hands and left hands. Jones is switching him, and then he's hitting him like right hand uppercuts, straight left hands. So, and saying that, it's a very hard one to judge. Every time Silky Jones goes back to orthodox, he's having a fair amount of success. Verno Phillips.
Well, it seems comparatively unruffled and looks in very, very good condition, Paul Jones.
Round 9.
Two-thirds of the fight gone then, and the challenger is flamboyant fringe trunks, Paul Silky Jones, 29 years old last Sunday, from Sheffield, the WBO Intercontinental Champion. He will be not too far away from becoming the WBO fully fledged light middleweight champion of the world. Tremendous response here at ringside in the Hillsborough Leisure Centre in Sheffield for this acclaim-sponsored evening of boxing. Left by Jones, hasn't really thrown too many of them. That's a good combination from him. And Phillips for the first time staggered and has a little grin to himself. And that invariably is the sign of a fighter who has to acknowledge that he's taken a couple of hard shots. And there's a lot of bravado attached to that. And back he comes with a very wicked-looking right hand. And Jones cannot afford to get careless.
This is a very, very tough stage in the fight in the 9th round. Both boys are really tired, and it's down to who wants the most. If somebody can assert an authority here, they've got a fair chance of leaping out in front.
Well, Jones now maybe feels that if he stands toe-to-toe, he's going to be as good as Phillips in the punching stakes. And the referee trying to step in and then changes his mind. A little bit of a slack refereeing. So Gary Jacobs posed the question, who wants it most? Phillips slowing down there is not the same as Zip in those shots. But remember, in terms of stopping opponents, he's got a much better record than Paul Jones, and he's been in with an altogether different class of opponent. And those statistics are something of which Paul Jones has made very light. And the crowd momentarily on their feet. They've sat down again because that really was a great flurry. You can see the champion Verno Phillips, just 25 years old, starting to really dig in. There's a headbutt again. Timeout. Aviso Fernandez is this time, I think. Looks like he's going to take a point away. He's taking a point away from Paul Jones, which was a great pity because Jones was doing so well in this round.
Yeah, very harsh. I mean, he started moaning and complaining again. He just ducked his head and Phillips sort of walked into it.
I think that may just spur Paul Jones on to an even higher work rate. Because Phillips has looked vulnerable. And does at this stage look vulnerable. Jones needs to keep up the pressure, right to the left, and he's doing just that. Again, the little grin from Verno Phillips. Well, Paul Silky Jones has the look about him of a man who's got a resolve of steel. And Jones well pleased with that. That point deduction really was rather unfortunate. And the sole rebel, Verno Phillips from Troy in New York, the champion of the world at light middleweight, is getting as much as he wants from Paul Silky Jones. That really was a great round of boxing. Both of them not prepared to concede a single inch. And a rather controversial element right in the middle of it. Phillips had complained, and Jones, yeah, well, I don't think Verno Phillips was totally unjustified in drawing the referee's attention to it, and I think, on reflection, the referee may just have made the right decision. But Jones had looked ever so good during that run, putting together some great combinations, and all the experience of Phillips enabling him to cover up.
Seconds out. Round 10.
Well, that last round, Gary Jacobs may well have been even, because even though Jones got the point deducted, I think he probably won it.
Silky Jones was winning the round, he got a point deducted, but I still think he was ahead of him. He was doing he had the better luck there, he was throwing more punches, he had Phillips in the back foot, and definitely could be it's a very hard, tough fight to score.
It's good work on the counter by Jones, going backward. He mustn't get careless, and Phillips is doing an awful lot of complaining. This time it's for a low blow. Referee hasn't stepped in. The adage in boxing is defend yourself at all times. So does Jones, who has moved well and jabbed well. And I feel that he's got the strength to finish this man.
Well, you can see he's got the fire in his belly, he definitely wants to win it, and when Phillips wants to mix it, he can stand there and mix it as well with him. But I still think he's better on the outside, switch hitting again, good jab with his left hand, good jab with his right hand, and Phillips is not getting anything his own way. Jones is, when Phillips wants to mix it, Jones is mixing it as well.
Phillips now, the mouth open, is breathing fairly heavily. And there's Jones back to southpaw again, and on his bike again. Something applauded by Freddie King in the corner. Still do get the feeling that Verno Phillips might have one solid shot that could change the whole complexion of this fight. Well, 3 years ago, when Paul Jones was stopped in 2 rounds by the durable Paul Wesley, he probably thought he'd made the right decision to pack up professional boxing, and here he is, not more than 3 rounds away from becoming a world champion.
Seem to be awful confident about that, Jim. Do you have him ahead? It's a tough fight to score. I don't know if I've got him ahead. I don't know if I've got it. I mean, the fight's a very, very close fight. As I said, it's who wants it most over the last 3 rounds here. Whoever can come out on top over the last couple of rounds, I think will edge it and take the title.
Half a minute to go to the end of this round, and Phillips again trying to get inside and holding on to the right hand of Paul Jones.
Silky Jones is still fighting as if he's as fresh as paint. It looks as if he's as fresh as he is in the first round as he is in the 10th round here.
Well, Freddie King has a grin all over his face, and he seems to be of the opinion that his man has to keep going at this pace, and he's going to take this title. And the chest just rising and falling very gently. What great condition Paul Jones is in. A wonderful belated birthday present this would be. 29 years old he was last Sunday. This is his 34th professional contest. And he wasn't even bother glancing across the ring to have a look at the reigning champion. Verno Phillips, who's looking a little agitated, and well he might. He would have been altogether pleased with the tactics adopted by Paul Jones in terms of a few headbutts and alleged low blows. Well, it's been another great night in Sheffield. One of the wonderful boxers we've seen from this particular town. At ringside somewhere, one of the modern greats, Harold Graham, is at ringside as well. Nassim Hamed, the current great. And is Paul Silky Jones going to join them? So just about 5.5 minutes of boxing to go to decide whether or not Verno Phillips will go back to Troy in New York with his WBO light middleweight championship belt. He's just putting the head down and swinging, Phillips, and hoping that Jones is going to be there when the punch is thrown.
Jones really wants this. He's really fired up for it. He's looking really fresh. He's gone out. He's as strong in the 11th as he is in the first. He's taking the fight to him now. He's on it. He's pushing Phillips back, and he's starting to mix it. And he might mix it for this round and the last.
Phillips replies instantly. He got stung by Jones and threw a short right hand back in response.